Hi, I'm Mark with Leading Edge Equipment.
I'm Mike with Leading Edge Equipment.
We're here today to talk to you about planter maintenance and setup. So first of all, we're going to start off talking about talc. So with your electric drive planter, they recommend that you use 80-20 talc. It cuts down on static electricity and is great for lubrication.
I want to kind of set with the 5E planter. The 5E is still the typical Pro Max 40. When you're setting it up for corn on your 5Es, it's kind of the same steps we always done. You put in your, make sure you put your knocker wheel in, and then you put your stair step brush in, then you put your 40 cell Pro Max 40 in, set her all up, and you should be ready for corn. Then you take your double eliminator that's on the unit, and you set it down for you're covering 3/4 of the hole on the plate, and run your vacuum about 15.
Okay, so next up we've got brush belt maintenance. So the best thing to do for brush belt maintenance is at the end of each season, take out your brush belt and hang it on 6-8 inch PVC pipe in your shop. That is the best way. At a minimum, we really want to take out this and then loosen this off, and that's a minimum you really want to do. You want to have this loosened off before you put your planter away each year.
Okay, the biggest difference you're going to see between these two electric planters, drive planters, is the 5E runs the flat cell disc we're all familiar with. The Exact Merge runs the bowl type, and it's a 32 cell, and it's all electric drive, kicker wheels, knocking the corn in. And that's one of the biggest changes you'll see between the two of them, are the belt and the 5E. The biggest difference you got between our 1775, our 5E, and our Exact Merge planters is the 5E and Exact Merge all got turn compensation in them. They'll slow up, speed down as you're going around corners, and they got independent row shutoff.
So the next thing I want to show you guys is the power units that run the electric drives on the planter. This one here is a PTO driven power unit. You can also get a hydraulic driven power unit on the planter. So I'm going to start off talking about the PTO one first. There's a couple of things that is good maintenance on these. At the start of each season, when you first put your generator back on your tractor, put a little grease in here, and on your PTO splines, it prevents that metal on metal wearing. Second thing, and most people I've talked to and most people I know like to do this at the start of the season rather than at the end, because you're 5, 6, 8, 10 months later, you can never remember whether you've done it. But change the oil in the generator. The plug's right here, and that should be done every year as well. Just good preventative maintenance. So that's with the generator on the PTO. I'm going to touch on the one that's on the planter. So there'd be 4 batteries that run that are there to help the power generator that is on the planter. With that, battery maintenance over the winter is very important. Just something that you should either be taking the batteries out and putting maintainers on them, or just leave them on there and make sure you got maintainers on those batteries. But that's another very important step that needs to be done as far as planter maintenance over the winter.
Mark went over this electric generator with you on the PTO mounted ones last summer. It was a hotter spring, and tractors are running at, they recommend 1400 RPMs is all this generator's got to run, but we've been running our tractors up 1900 RPMs. And so the generator's actually spinning faster than it really has to, but that's just one of the facts there is, I guess. But we noticed that one season there last year, our generator was getting kind of sluggish. So we pulled the generator off and we drained the oil like Mark had pointed out earlier, put new oil back in there. And the oil was pretty dark and everything, did that, and the generator's back to working like it was. So apparently it was oil breakdown. That was because we are spinning them faster than you really probably have to, but just for hydraulic flow and everything else in your tractors, you run a little higher RPMs.
So another good maintenance thing to think about every year is make sure that you air up your planter and check for air leaks. you know, with the pneumatic trash whippers, etc. If you think you've got an air leak, or your tank's running, or your compressor's running a lot more than it should, you know, you can use soapy water and a squirt bottle, go around your fittings and look for air leaks. But that's just something else that's going to have more uptime when you're not in the field, rather than looking for them when you should be planting. So another thing, every time you disconnect or connect your planter to your tractor, another thing you should remember is for your hydraulic downforce is your flush hose. It comes with every planter, and by right you're supposed to do this flush every time you hook and, you know, unhook and then hook back up to your planter. So that just goes in the end here, like that. And you know, another thing, make sure that you don't have the tractor running when you hook these up, because there is hydraulic pressure in there.
Okay, as Mark said, running to bleeding these off and all that. Another thing, if you're still, after you've done that, you're still having issues, you can go into your monitor, under your hydraulic downforce, and you can run an air purge test. And that'll tell you in the monitor and if there's anything wrong or what's giving the troubles.
So another thing for your independent hydraulic down pressure, if you have some surging and you can't seem to get rid of it with the things that we've just talked about, contact your John Deere dealer. There is a check valve that we can put in on the pressure side, which has eliminated any surging if there is any of that happening.
One thing me and Mark have talked about, we went over is our PTO driven generators, is you're running a tractor with an IVT, go in there and turn it to manual. Don't run it in IVT, because that tractor is going to try getting it down to the lowest RPMs, and you want to keep up over 1400. So they're saying turn that off, and then go to manual on your IVT, and go in there and turn your load anticipation off too. And for you're just running a constant steady speed of the PTO, because otherwise it'll be speeding up and slowing down, because that's what the tractor's designed to do when you're running in auto. Something new that we started putting on in 2021 is John Deere got the Exact Rate out. Exact Rate, what it is it's a pump that can be section control runoff. You can come back here and you can run your pump, turn your pump on back here, and you can push the nozzle check button and you can run it through its cycle. And if it goes through all the cycle, you got fertilizer coming out all your openers. And if you do have an issue with any of them, right here on every one of these valves, there's a little light. If one of these valves are giving an issue, a light will flash. So that tells you there's an issue with that unit there.
An Exact Rate is using the technology that we had come out with a couple of years ago on our sprayers with Exactify. So it uses the exact rate that you want, and like Mike said, same thing as with your electric grow units, you have turn compensation, so you'll have more fertilizer being applied at one end of the planter than the other on your turns. Also independent shut off on your fertilizer. So please stay tuned on our YouTube channel or John Deere's YouTube channel for the Model 2022 planter updates. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming out in the planters. If you have any more questions, please feel free to get a hold of us at Leading Edge Equipment, and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions.